Welcome to Opening Paranormal Doorways, True Stories of Domestic Hauntings, documented by R.D. Brassington. We'll be exploring a series of intense paranormal accounts from 1982 to 2025. Trigger warning: these stories contain accounts of childhood trauma and the invocation of entities. If you feel uneasy, please take a pause. Remember, it is not happening to you right here, right now. Our theory of entry suggests that trauma acts as a key. A child's intense negative emotions can bring forth entities. Survival often requires splitting, creating protective personalities at the gates of traumatic events. The first account is The Mirror, the Inner Haunting. A 7-year-old attempted to drown himself. The manifestation was the abusive father's face in the mirror, which later became a source of rhythmic vibration and whispering. Next is The Window, the Doppelganger. A child saw a face looking in, confirmed to be the absent mother's face. It stared without emotion, unblinking, before dissipating into a cloud of black smoke. In The Bedroom, the Half-Burnt Girl, an apparition linked to a death in a kerosene fire was seen. A girl with a half-burnt face and red hair would sit and sway on the end of the bed, smiling with familiarity and sadness. The Fire, the Elemental Scream involves 2 gas main explosions. During the fire, a disembodied woman's voice screamed, "My child is inside, my child." All children were safe, and the sound came from the air itself. The Wilderness, the Monkey Wolf describes an entity that is part wolf, part baboon, with a lion's tail. A fluffy ball of fur crashed through the window, accompanied by a squalling, intoxicating noise. The Shift, Wrestling the Shadow, recounts an encounter where a person was held down by an invisible force. The fight involved pushing the entity out the window, followed by trashing the house afterward. The mechanism is fractal memories. Entities are described as clustered molecules of universal dust, fragmented memories seeking a moment in the light, triggered by the sustained thoughts of the living. The defense is about taking back control. Tools include sage, herbal incense, or smoldering gum leaves to cleanse the house. The mindset is to fill your body with love until it radiates from every cell. The banishing involves declaring, "I love, I receive love, I am loved, you do not belong here." The ultimate weapon is to assert your power and tell that entity to leave. The change, when it leaves, the sensation is like the universe corrected itself. The silent white noise suddenly stops, and the exit is a swoosh or a gust of nature's cleansing air. If you are suffering alone, please reach out. Partner-caused death and suicide are major killers. Resources include Emergency 000 and Support 131114 Lifeline. Someone truly cares and has you in their thoughts. This video was produced by Consciously Evolving Enterprises and documented by R.D. Brassington. Thank you for watching. You are appreciated. See you next time. Now we transition to a new case file, Patient 0, the Mirror Entity, documented in the Tenilius Files, Session 01. The clinical baseline is established for the subject Neil, age 8, with an extreme phobia of mirrors. His file indicates he is unmedicated, and this is his first clinical visit. An impossible premonition shatters the protocol as Neil claims, "You're the one that gives me the pink pills." They don't make anything better. If anything, they make things worse. The reality divergence is captured. At 0:02, Neil makes the claim. By 0:04, the doctor verifies his unmedicated status. At 0:07, the doctor returns, and the subject denies the initial interaction entirely, suggesting amnesia or manipulation. Neil's primary phobia is linked to Mary Jane Walker. He performs a ritual of 10 knocks on the glass. He sees her as a black mass with ember eyes, no longer the girl who was assaulted. Clinically, this is rationalized as the Troxler effect, where staring into low light causes visual distortions. However, Neil's subjective reality is a malevolent, intelligent mass, the mirror entity, feeding on his terror. The video summarizes the 3 entities: the mirror entity, the bed ghost, and the hallway mist, detailing their origins, manifestation forms, and behavioral threats. The entities form an ecosystem of collusion. They coordinate to bully and trap Neil within his home, shown by a map with an arrow leading to the bathroom, the location of the mirror entity. The perimeter breach occurs when Neil flees, only to witness his mother staring through the blinds. His mother is not home. The entity's narrative is expanding beyond the primary location, becoming a shared psychosis, or folie à deux, with his neighbor. The father's confirmation validates the subject's experience when he describes seeing a girl on the end of your bed in a nightgown with a half-burnt face and red hair. The loop closes as an antipsychotic. The bubblegum pink pill is prescribed to halt the hallucinations. It is to be hidden in hazelnut spread to bypass the child's resistance. The epiphany of dread is realized. Neil knew the end of the session before it started. The pills will not work because the timeline is a circle and the mirror is real. Phase 2 begins with the multidisciplinary escalation. The subject is referred to neurology, parapsychology, and trauma specialists as the primary physician is compromised by terror. The future visits will involve professionals, each armed with their rational science, attempting to explain away the unexplainable, while the entities in the house grow stronger. This concludes the Tenilius Files, Session 01. Patient 0 is waiting.